Welcome again, everybody. Thank you for your patience. Before we start, I'd like to do some quick introductions. So my name is Musa, and I am an account manager at URM. I'm also joined by my colleague Wayne Armstrong, who will be delivering today's webinar. Wayne is a senior consultant at URM. He will naturally be introducing himself shortly, but suffice to say, he's one of the most experienced consultants with regards to ISO 27001. So he's got his vast amount of knowledge there, and he holds some great experience within the UK there in terms of the sort of other consultants. So in terms of backgrounds, let me provide some background today for today's webinar. So URM has been delivering webinars and seminars for the last 17 years now on ISO 27001 and other information security related topics. We're currently running through a series of webinars specifically on ISO 27001 auditing. URM has already delivered an overview webinar where we talked about the 6 pillars which we believe as URM underpin ISO 27001 auditing. Incidentally, if you did miss that webinar, please do let us know in your feedback form and we can send you the link. So, as I said, previously covered was the overview of the 6 or ISO 27001 auditing, but today we'll be drilling down on the first pillar, which is planning your ISO 27001 audit program. As with all our webinars, we do hope you'll find a good blend between theory and practice, where Wayne will be using his experience there and insights from the planning and delivering that he's experienced over the last 2 decades. We are keen as well to sort of allude to that. If there are any questions, please do share, and we've got a tab here as well that you can use the questions pane. So please do feel free to use that, and we will look to address them as well at the end. Okay, so let's talk about the agenda for today. Just a quick overview, really. So we'll be looking at the benefits and key factors to consider really in auditing. Obviously, that includes the size and complexity of organisation. It's not a one shoe fits all approach really in that regard. We'll then move on to audit methodology, where we'll examine or sort of take a look really at the methods used to conduct audits, such as document reviews and interviews, etc. Moving on from there, we'll look to address determining your scope. Really, I guess the key question really there is what's inside and outside of the audit scope. Next on the agenda will be sort of prioritising audits. So essentially, that's the focus on the higher, business areas within your organisation. Not again. It's not a one shoe fits all, and other different types of organisations have higher risks to focus on. So managing audits will be next, and so the key question really there is who audits the audit programme. With audit criteria, we'll be asking the question: what are we measuring against our audits? In the final part of the webinar, we're looking at the logistical considerations, essentially where URM will be using experiences on practical issues that typically get overlooked in the audit program or process. We are keen, of course, to make sure that you get the most out of this webinar, and as I alluded to previously, if you have any questions, you can submit them through the questions pane, and we are keen to endeavour to answer as many as possible. Any questions that unfortunately are missed, please do add them onto the feedback form. Okay, so before handing over to Wayne, I'd like to take this opportunity for those not familiar with URM to provide some credentials about ourselves. So we've been supporting organisations comply or certify to ISO 27001 since 2005. And we supported over 300 organisations certify, and that, essentially that covers all shapes and sizes to achieve and then maintain the standard. Within URM, we do have You know, like I said, I've got clearly a good number of consultants there that have got a variety of backgrounds really, but essentially what they've done is we've you know, brought consultants that have got an internal auditing sort of process or background, infosec managers and risk managers as well. So, you know, in all shapes and sizes, and I think with that in mind, we have a